Hello everybody, in today's video I am talking about what you might expect for the home buying process in the future with the advent of AI taking such a prominent role in society. And what I did is I made up a list of things that I thought could happen to the real estate industry with AI, and I also went to ChatGPT and say, hey, what do you think is going to happen? How is it going to transform the role of the real estate agent in the home buying process in the future? And what is kind of funny is it kind of came up with the same final conclusion that I did. So stay tuned to the end of the video where I'm going to tell you what AI thinks and what I think is going to happen to the role of the real estate agent in the home buying process, and what you can expect to be different with the use of AI buying homes in the next decade or so. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona. Well, I'll teach you everything there is to know about living in the northern half of the state of Arizona. My name is Dawn Dickinson and I am a real estate agent in Northern Arizona. So if you ever have a question about buying or selling a home, please reach out to me. My contact information, my email address, my website is always in the description below. Okay, so what is going to happen, or what might happen now that AI is becoming so prevalent in our everyday lives? How is that going to impact the way that you buy a home in the future? Well, one of the very first things that will probably happen is it's going to hyper-personalize your home search. The other day, I went online and I ordered some flowers for my sister because her dog had passed away. And ever since, I just went to the website one time. Every time I turn on YouTube or go to social media, I'm seeing 1,000 ads for buying flowers. So it's going to be similar to this. It's going to track you. It's going to stalk your preferences. So when you're going online and asking for a home search, it's already going to have a lot of your preferences in its memory, and it will be making the home search a little bit easier. Whereas right now, if somebody calls me and they say, I'm looking for a house, I'm looking in Cornville, I got to ask them some questions, and it might not have all of their preferences logged right away. So it could take me a little bit of tweaking to get the home search perfect for you. And as these tools become available, real estate agents will be also using those, that knowledge base to help you buy a home when they are setting up your search. So another thing that could happen is what they're calling smart location matching, where instead of coming out and saying, oh, I want a 3-bed, 2-bath house with a big yard and a garage in this zip code, it might go and match you to neighborhoods where it thinks that you would enjoy, based on things like your commute time, ratings for schools, if you have children, the culture, crime statistics, and walkability and other issues like that that you may not get from your local real estate agent, because we again aren't as familiar with your lifestyle as AI will become while it tracks you online. Now the caveat to this is if you are living in a small community, or if you're looking to buy in a small community, it's not going to be as accurate because there aren't as much data to collect and the community is smaller, so it's going to be harder to find crime rate, or it's going to be harder to find school data and that kind of thing in a very small community. So again, if you have a large market, think Zillow, right? When you do the Zestimate, if you are in a very large community like Phoenix or Los Angeles, it's going to pick out a much more accurate home value than if you're in a small town like Munns Park or Sedona or Cottonwood. So again, it's going to be only as accurate as the data that feeds the AI program. So another thing that will be nice is it will do AI-powered virtual tours and staging. So if you have a house, AI could actually auto-stage it to your likes. It may even be able to auto-stage it based on your own furniture. It could change. You can go and hit a button and say, no, I don't like this, white furniture. Show it to me in a dark cherry, and you'll be able to do that real time, which which can make visualizing how your stuff would fit into the house a little bit better. And it could even simulate what it's like to live there based on weather or lighting and those types of things virtually. Now, of course, the caveat to this is virtual staging. It is virtual. It's going to be hard for it to come up with things like the neighborhood, exactly like what is the view across the street, because that kind of stuff, if you are doing a listing as a real estate agent, you're not going to be showing pictures of, the crappy things on the block. So it's only going to be showing you the very positive stuff, because that's all it's going to have access there. So a still is always good. Maybe to do some virtual tours, eliminate what you don't like, might make it so that you're physically looking at fewer homes because you've eliminated them online before you do showings. But it's still always good to visit a home in person before you buy it. Now, this part is what I'm really excited about, is the AI scheduling assistance. Right now, it is really difficult to schedule an entire day of showings. And if AI could help with that, that would be fantastic, because sometimes you'll say, this house is occupied, this house is not occupied, this house says that you can only see it in the mornings between 9 and noon, and this house is 15 minutes away and you can only see it between 5 and 4, 5 and 10. So AI could make the showing experience, or the showing scheduling, much easier for agents. I tell you, if I'm trying to schedule 7, 8, a dozen homes in a day, that could take me hours, because I'm going in there and I'm looking at all the different schedules that are allowing the showing window. And the other problem is, you don't know how long each client is going to want to stay in a home. Like, I might predict the average client stays 15 minutes in a home, but I've had some clients go in there and they want to look around for an hour and a half before going to the next house, and that totally messes up your schedule. So there will be a little bit of caveat to the scheduling, but it should make your home tours when you're ready to look at homes much easier. Okay, so the fifth thing that this can do to help your buying experience is AI is going to act like a co-pilot for some of your real estate agents, and it will do some of the minute tasks that are difficult to do, like draft the listing description. I already have AI do that. If I'm about to list a home, I say, I've got this home in West Sedona and it's this size and it's got these views. Please draft up a description that makes it sound warm and inviting, and AI will do that. So some of these things are already in place. ChatGPT thinks that AI can help you write the offer contracts, and some of the contracts, I think that's a little bit risky. I do think that it can write offer contracts, but I think every agent should go in and do a very good job tweaking it, making sure it hasn't put something outrageous in there that you might miss. That still even happens to this day with humans writing contracts. Just be very diligent on looking at those legal contracts and making sure it doesn't mess anything up. The thing that could be very helpful, that I would really love, because I get a lot of inquiries from buyers, hey, can you tell me this about this house, or what do you know about this area? If I had an AI assistant that could answer those email questions or texts very quickly, that would be very helpful. And the other thing is your market analysis. Right now, if you're saying, and I've got an appointment this week, maybe a listing appointment. So before we do that, we do a comparative market analysis. Or before I write an offer, I will do a comparative market analysis, and I'll look at all the homes that have sold that are similar, and it will spit out a recommended price. That will be much easier for your agent, because it will be done much more quickly. So it will be saving your agent time and giving you maybe even more accurate results, because it's pulling in more data from other sources. So that will be great. Another thing, now, once you are in escrow, which is saying this number 6, they're doing you more of a real-time property analysis from AI, where once you've had a home inspection, and I actually have come across a service that does this already, you feed it in the home inspection report of all the things the inspector found wrong with it, and AI could spit out an estimate of what it would cost to repair those items. That would be super helpful, because a lot of times you'll say, oh, I have some pipes that need to be tightened, or the sink is leaking, or the toilet makes a little sound. and that will come back on your report, and like it's difficult for me to give you an idea of what that would cost to fix without contacting a plumber. So if AI can do that, just a high level estimate. Now the other issue, of course, is that going to be accurate, especially in different markets? There may not be as, repair costs could be different in one market than it is from another, but to get a baseline of what those repair costs could be, that will be very helpful. Also, it could come up with potential rental income if you are looking at a rental property for an investment, or possibly energy efficiency. It may come up with energy costs. As right now, I sometimes will call APS and say, can you give me the average? And they used to do that. They used to give me the average electricity bill. Now they'll say, well, I can give you what the highest was. But AI could make all that type of analysis and research that you do during the due diligence period much maybe faster and possibly even more accurate. So number 7 that could happen during the home buying process would be, it gives you more of a conversational buying assistance, where you can use a voice base to say, hey AI, find me homes in Sedona for $900,000 or less with a mountain view, and it can give you a more personalized search. Now, of course, I can do that search for you also, but if you can save a step and personalize it very easily with AI, you may want to do that. And it can also do things about, well, this might not be good, but you could do that. Now your listing agent knows that you've inquired about a certain house, and then the listing agent or somebody could be bombarding you on the phone. Like may already happen, but it could be worse. So that's just something to think about. Now, regarding the loan process, if you're financing your purchase, it may give you faster loan pre-approval for your financing than before. It may make mortgage applications and pre-approvals a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, coming back in minutes rather than days, and maybe improving your accuracy on whether you really are qualified for that amount, and maybe get offers or your financing tailored to each property. We do that right now anyhow. I might say to my loan partner, okay, we're writing an offer on this particular home, and they may do a pre-qualification for that home, but some of the bigger companies might just say you're qualified for $400,000 loan and just leave it at that. So it could be a little bit more tailored and a little bit faster getting your loan approval done. So number 10 that could happen is with dynamic pricing tools and offer tools. So we're again saying with the comparative market analysis that we do kind of by hand, it will be much faster in order for you to first find out if you're selling the house, what the house will be worth, and also if you're going to put in an offer, what a recommended offer might be. You might predict how much to offer based on the market conditions, or adjust the pricing strategies in real time and anticipate what competitive offers may have already been submitted for the home. Now, while this is very helpful, I notice that a lot of times I might recommend an offer price and the buyer already has in mind what they want to offer. So it could be helpful, but still buyers are going to want to offer what they want. And even though the agent might recommend something, it may not be what you end up writing the offer for anyhow. All right, number 11, this would be fantastic if it automates the due diligence period, because during the due diligence period, we do a lot of research where we're looking, say, hey, was that enclosure, was that permitted? AI might be able to go and do that. Was there a permit for that enclosed room? Or it will get you information back from the HOA. Right now, a huge delay during due diligence is getting the HOA to respond if you have questions. So maybe AI would be able to do that. Insights onto risks, like is there an area next to your house that could change from residential to commercial zoning? Anything that might be a deal breaker could be automated more with AI, and that would be very helpful. But at the very end, I asked ChatGPT, do you think that real estate agents will still be used during the home buying process? And do you think real estate agents will still matter for the home buying process? And it says, even as AI does a lot of the heavy lifting, buyers will still need human judgment, negotiation skills, empathy, and trust, and that the real estate agent's role is going to shift a little bit more towards advisor, strategist, advocate, and an emotional guide through a complex experience. Now, that was the AI suggestion on why a real estate agent is still going to be valuable in the home buying process. I'm going to say probably the biggest one of those suggestions is going to be the emotional aspect. I think if AI is taking over the real estate buying process, that you're going to have a lot more cancellations, a lot more problems, because things will come up in the process and everybody will get emotional. Like, say something comes up where the home inspector says the seal on that toilet is broken and it needs to be replaced, and then you ask for it. And then the seller says no. Well, suddenly there's a gigantic emotional conflict, battle of the egos, and the agents are going to be the one that kind of tame the emotion, like say, well, you know, the toilet replacement could be $300. Is it really losing the deal over $300? I'm just throwing things, but basically it's the emotional side of the real estate purchase and the real estate sale that is not going to be replaced by AI. And the other thing is, you notice when you go to an AI chat box, even on Amazon, and you ask a question, 90% of the time, all of your stuff is not going to be answered by a robot. There are many things, and probably the most important thing to you, it's not going to be able to be duplicated by AI. And one more thing, when we're talking about the virtual showings and the virtual staging, that can be very valuable, but again, nothing beats working with an agent to show you the property and point out things that you might not notice. And then there's one other thing. I just last week showed a house completely sight unseen until after closing. Now, I do this quite often when I have people relocating to my area from another state. I will go in with my camera, I'll give you a virtual tour of the house on the inside, which you can do with AI, but I'll also go into the backyard, I'll go in front of the house, and I'll pan 360 degrees so you can see, does the neighbor have 6 cars parked on their front lawn? What's in front of it? What's inside it? What's on the side? I might, if there's a messy neighbor, just show you like, well, this guy's a little bit messy. That type of thing you'll never be able to get from AI. So the human experience, just knowing what buyers and sellers should be looking out for, again, when buying a home, I think that will never be replaced, and that's why you're probably always going to want to do it with a local real estate agent. You may be able to buy with a robot in the future, but I think that's setting you up for some problems. But again, only time will tell. So I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Dawn Dickinson. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona. I am a licensed real estate agent in Arizona. I sell primarily in Sedona and Verde Valley, Flagstaff, Prescott area, sometimes Phoenix. So if you ever have a question about buying or selling a home, please reach out to me. My contact information is always in the description below. I post videos every single week, so if you enjoyed this type of video, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and I hope to see you back here on my channel again next week.